Here we are, nice and comfortable on a love seat, backstage with Bob Lee and the phenomenal Dionne Warwick. Now, she's been in the business for a little while. She's been doing a number of things. I'm just gonna say a little while, but we know what the little while is. And it spans a beautiful career. You've been doing a number of things. Now, you started in church, as so many artists have. Tell us about that.
Well, my grandfather was a minister, and of course I spent my life in church because of that, which ain't such a bad place to spend your life, I tell you. It kind of developed whatever this is that I happen to be now into fruition. It was the very first place that I ever sang in front of people, so it kind of prepared me that I guess this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life.
How was that feeling? Mama said, come on, we're going to sing.
Yeah, you know, well, actually my grandpa called me out of the congregation, and he said, baby girl, come here. I said, oh, he's talking to me. And I went up into the pulpit, and he leaned down and he whispered in my ear, he said, I want you to sing for me. I looked at him and said, you want me to do what? I want you to sing for you. He said, yeah, I want you to sing for me. I said, okay, what do you want me to sing? He said, I want you to sing what you do, that you lead the kids in Sunday school with. I said, oh, okay. So he put a bunch of books where I could stand so that it could be seen over the lectern. And I closed my eyes as tight as I could get them. And I started singing, Jesus Loves Me. And I started hearing, yes, all right, okay. Which, you get encouragement from your congregation. Yeah. And I kind of opened one eye to see what they were really doing. And there was a lot of smiles. So then I said, okay, I can open both my eyes. And I started belting out the song.
And they kept smiling.
And they kept smiling. And that's where I got my very first standing ovation.
And later on, you came up with a song that sings some of that stuff.
That's right.
Keep smiling. But now, you were singing also with your family in church,
Yes, I
right?
was.
Your sister
Exactly.
Dee Dee.
My cousin Myrna.
Yes.
And a dear, dear friend, Carol Slade. And we formed a gospel group called the Gospel Hairs. And that was our life as teenagers. We kind of went around to different churches, not only in Jersey, but in other parts of the East Coast.
What was the name of the church in East Orange, New Jersey?
No, that's where I was born and raised.
Yeah.
But our church was in Newark.
Oh,
It was St. Luke's AME Church.
there you go.
Yeah.
So if I say the world famous Apollo Theater, what
Well.
would you say?
I would say we won the amateur night. Yeah, that's where actually not only the gospel group, we happened to win that evening, which we were thrilled about, but it also kind of put us into a background singing sessions.
Yeah.
Because there was a man there who wanted to use the gospel groups that were on that particular show. It was a gospel caravan that year. And
There was a saxophonist that really loved you guys and said, hey, come on.
Yeah, that was the young man who was backstage said he needed voices to do a background session for Sam the Man Taylor, who was that saxophonist, and Nappy Brown, a blues singer. So we went to Savoy Records in Newark and did all those oohs, ahs, and yeah-yeahs. And there was a young man who was a guitarist on the session who decided that we needed to be doing more background work. And he started spreading our name around New York. And I got a call from Lieber and Stoller to come in to do a background session for who? The Drifters. My God, the Drifters.
You went around telling everybody, hey, guess who I'm singing
exactly,
for?
Exactly. And we did the background on a song called Mexican Divorce, written by Burt Bacharach and Bob Hilliard. And he approached me after the session was over and asked if I'd be interested in doing more demonstration records and background work on things that he'd be writing with a new songwriting partner, Hal David.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that was the beginning of a wonderful marriage.
When did you find out that you have arrived? When you
I'm
first...
still searching.
But that's not a bad thing, though.
Not at all.
Because it keeps you climbing.
Keep my feet on the ground and let me know who I really am and who I really am not.
Yes, but you started your solo career after all the background work and
Yes,
everything.
I did.
When did that start?
I did a demonstration record that back record David had written for the Shirelles. And they sent it to Scepter Records, and Florence Greenberg, who owned the company, she didn't want the song, but she wanted the voice.
Yeah.
And that was me.
That was you.
That was the beginning.
It started flying from then, huh?
Yes, it did.
Yeah. So you went from there, and then you started recording your own. What was the first? In 1962, you came out with your
Don't
first
Make
record.
Me Over.
There you go.
My first record.
And somebody made that over again. Was it Sybil?
Yes,
Don't
it was.
Make Me Over.
Yes, she did it in a disco kind of vibe.
Right. And a lot of people have taken your work and done it over. Luther Vandross.
Luther, yeah. Well, gave definitive versions.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which
House
was
is
that?
Not a Home.
Yeah,
My God.
Exactly.
I don't think anybody wants to touch that song after he did it, okay?
No.
Including me. And he's done quite a few of mine. Anyone Who Had a Heart. What the World Needs Now Is Love.
Yeah.
Luther and I were very dear friends.
Yeah.
He was more family than friend.
Yeah.
And he collaborated with me a lot. He would tell me, I'm going to record this one. What do you think? And he would send the way he wanted to do it. I said, what are you going to say about Luther Vandross and whatever he wants to do with a song?
Right.
Do it.
You can do it. Because you get credit for it too.
Well, the fact that it was recorded by me first is the only way I get credit for it.
Right.
Because he puts
Everybody knows it.
Yeah, he puts his own stamp on it, though.
Yeah. So, but you do a lot of things in the community. We had an epidemic that came out, probably came out way before the 80s, but everybody, that big fright was out there in the 80s. We're talking about AIDS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I saw a special that was done on TV, and it was, I think, like around 80, 81. And it was of the young man who was a steward, had traveled to Africa and came back to the States in San Francisco. And we watched him, literally, demise. I mean, go from a strapping young man to skin and bone. And nobody knew what it was.
There's nothing that can stop it.
They all thought the consensus was that it was a sort of a cancer. And until Rock Hudson put a name and a face to it, we still were kind of befuddled as to what is this disease. And finally it was given a name called AIDS. I was appointed the Ambassador of Health for the United States, the first of its kind, by the Reagan administration. And my personal mandate was AIDS crises, especially within our communities, because we were the ones who were not really being attended to. And I started working with doctors and researchers and people who were immersed in trying to find out, first of all, what this was. And I traveled the entire world listening to conferences and being a part of conferences and bringing, literally, I was bringing drugs into the country. And it got to be so funny too when I come through customs. It was drugs that were being tested like in other parts of Europe. And I would bring them back to see how, if they were working there, they had to work here. And they asked me what I was I'm bringing drugs in. I said, what kind of drugs? I said, well, they're for AIDS. Oh, go. Even talking about it was like taboo. But it's like everything else. These are people who need help. And I was taught by my grandpa. That's why we're here. We're here to be of service to each other. And if they don't have the wherewithal in which to help themselves, be a help to them.
There's a major stigma attached to it, People don't want to be tested, they don't want to know about it.
Right.
But it's still happening. It's still happening all around us.
Exactly. It's like when you catch a cold. You want to go to the doctor to get rid of it. So what's the deal about it being tested?
Right. Now, you came up with a song about it. How did that
That's What Friends Are For was part of a film. I happened to be doing a project for Arista Records. And Clive had asked Bert and Carol Bear Sager, his wife at the
Clive
time.
Davis?
Yeah, Clive Davis, yes. To come up with a couple of songs for the project. So I went to their home to hear some songs that they said that I might be interested in. And after I left their home that afternoon, I was watching TV. And on TV was a film called Night Shift. And at the end of the film, There was a crawl with this song called That's What Friends Are For, being sung by Rod Stewart. And the next day, when I was to go back to Carol and Bert's house, I said, you know, I heard a song last night and I saw that you guys had written it. You go, That's What Friends Are For. And Carol, she's a hoot. She really is. She said, well, now 4 people know that song. I said, 4 people? She said, yeah, you know, now you know it. I know it, Bert knows it, and Rod knows it. I said, well, let's let the world know it. How about that?
Yeah.
And it kind of struck a chord. It reeked of friendships, which are very vital to me, and of which I can proudly say I have quite a few of. Yeah. I called my friends, who happened to be available, thank God, was Stevie Wonder, Gladys Knight, and Elton John, and asked if they would do the song with me, and they agreed. Well, at the session was Elizabeth Taylor, who was a friend of Backrack and Carol. And after we finished singing the song and went in to listen to it, she asked us, she said, would you give this to my foundation? And we all looked at her like, here's one of the biggest songs we probably ever will record. And she says it would be literally the banner for the AIDS crisis. So we all felt, since we had been touched in some way by this stigma, that if our talent was going to do some good, why not? Yeah. So That's What Friends For literally started. Amphar funded it.
So can I hum it?
I guess.
She knows what to do. Look, I was gonna go. I thought you were gonna jump in and sing along with me. She said, "Be my guest. You're on your own." But you've done so many wonderful things, and you're still working with the AIDS Project. You have a meeting with C. Virginia Fields.
Yes, it Fields. And you know, I likened, when I was appointed the Ambassador of Health, I said then, and I made a promise, that I looking at this as if it's a train ride, and we've got a long, long road to hell. Yeah. And I will be on this ride until we have come to the final destination, and that hopefully will be a cure. That's what we're all praying for. Yeah. But at least something that will stem this thing and keep it in control. And so I'm on the train ride.
Yeah. What would you want the public to know about this? I mean, can they volunteer? Can they help? Can they?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They can do a load of things. There are agencies throughout the entire world that need assistance. You know, of course, unfortunately, money is what carries all of them through. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, just search out. You know, take a minute or two to look and see the organizations that really need assistance and do something about it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Such a wonderful person. I can feel your spirit. You know, you're warm-hearted, and you get the message across, and you're doing a lot of things for humanity. You're still working with the UN.
Oh, absolutely. I was appointed an ambassador to the UN in the 90s for the FAO division of the UN. It's Food and Agricultural Organization. And it's basically, we suss out areas of the world that need assistance in learning how to feed themselves. You know, as I said, well, we're off camera. Yeah. You can give a man a fish and he eats that day, but you teach him to fish and he'll eat every day. Yes. And that's basically what the mandate is of the FAO part of the UN. We have been very successful, I'm thrilled to say. We still have an awful lot to do. Yes. But
it's a never-ending job.
You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. There's no reason for anybody to be hungry in this world. Never, ever. We have too much for anyone to go and suffer in that vernacular.
And you do so much for so many people, you know. Of course, people buy your music, they listen to you. You did your TV thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw you on TV too.
Time to go.
Yeah. But you know, you do all those things, but what about you? How do you come inside and take care of you? Because, you know, when you're out there, you're a performer, you're an artist, an entertainer, you're taking care of so many people in the business, but, you know, what about me?
I'm on tour right now. I'm on a world tour promoting a new CD. And we're covering all 6 continents. We've done we've done 3, and I've got 3 more to go. Please God.
And that's heavy work in itself.
Yes,
right
it
there.
really is.
People just see the lighter side of it. Oh, the entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
She rocked our world. She rocked our soul. But they don't know that all the work that goes behind
Getting
that.
to it, just the travel alone.
Yeah.
I mean, if I would give my schedule to anyone who always say, "Oh, I wish I could do what you're doing," I say, "Okay,
Okay.
I'll take your job for a week. You got mine. How about that?
Right. Yeah, go
Let me just run down one schedule to you, and then you let me know if this is really what you want to do."
Right.
You're up at 4:30 in the morning to get a 7 o'clock flight to go to a destination that gets you there around 2 in the afternoon. You go to your sound check. After that, you go to your hotel. Throw some water in strategic places. Get prepared to go back to that venue.
I'm going to use that.
Back to that venue, do your show, and hope you get out of there around 11, because you're up at 4:30 again in the morning to catch another 7 o'clock flight going to your next destination. So if that's what you really want to do, be my guest. I'll take your job. But it's the joy
Yeah.
does come from that
You
hour
have
and a
to really
half
be
on
passionate
stage. It
about
really is. I love what I do. I could not ever imagine a world without music. Oh, we'd be in bad shape.
And that's why you're able to do all of those things to prepare for that segment on stage. in front
Yeah,
of the
that's
people.
true. Because I do enjoy it. And, to be able to look down into an audience and see a bunch of smiles, or see an arm go around the shoulder, or somebody grab a hand, it means something.
Yeah.
These people are truly enjoying and benefiting from what I'm giving them.